Thank you for the opportunity to come back and be with you all. We made it through the rain tonight and the jam. Pastor Moy Hong, is he here? Somewhere in the back? No? She maybe got caught in the rain. So actually, we call it part 2 now. But when I came, we didn't call it part 1 because it was supposed to be that was it. But I remember Dr. Paul said, since I only did chapters 1 to 11, that I should come back and do the rest of the book of Genesis. So last year when I was with you, I tried, those of you who were here, we tried to take you through 1 to 11. You will know that even working through 1 to 11 in 4 sessions, really I had to, be very selective. And so now I'm trying to do 12 to 50, which is much more than 11 chapters. So I'm going to be even more selective. I have to be even more selective. I'm going to try it. But most of you will probably realize that this is in your outline notes, that chapters 12 to 50, one convenient way to think of it is we have here the story of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. And these are your 4 main characters that span this section of the Bible: Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. So, since those are 4 names and we have 4 sessions together, I thought that would be also a convenient way for me to try and be selective, also in each of the sessions that I'm working with, just to say something about each of these 4 characters during each of the 4 sessions that I have with you. 1 tonight, and then 3 sessions tomorrow, if the Lord tarries. Right. So that's the plan for this for my time with you today and tomorrow. I also have there some reading suggestions. This is very similar to the part 1 reading suggestions that I gave you, the commentaries and certain books. So I won't need to comment on them unless you have any questions. I'll be happy to try and respond. Speaking of questions, I'm hoping to leave, at least 20 minutes of each session for questions, because I'm being selective. Some of you may have come wanting to ask about some passage that I do not comment on, or you may want to ask for clarification something that I did speak on in that session. I always think that actually, for myself, I've always found whenever I attend various talks, that the Q&A for me is normally the most interesting bit, because that's where you get a chance to interact a bit more. And I'm not sure what the culture or the ethos is for those of you here, but if you don't ask questions, we could end early. So I am going to begin tonight with Genesis 12 and then say something about Abraham. But since it is Friday evening, I'm sure many of us are tired, I thought I'd use this time also to give you sort of an overview of the whole book of Genesis and how I think it holds together. But I just thought of something, because Pastor Joshua says on Sunday, I thank Pastor Wong for inviting me to preach on Sunday, just the morning service. We'll be at the new sanctuary, which I haven't seen yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. And I'm going to be preaching from a passage and because I'm preaching from Genesis 32 on Sunday, I'm not going to say very much about it here, unless, again, someone asks questions. But I understand that in the new sanctuary, you no longer have, what you have here, where you've got these hymnals and Bibles in front of the chair or the pew in front of you, right? So you won't have access to your hymnal over there. So I thought I'd point out to you one of Charles Wesley's most famous poems. It is really one of his most famous poems, number 386, in case some of you want to turn to it now in the hymnal. But we don't sing it that often, because it has 14 verses. And I think in any worship service, you don't have time to work through 14 verses. But since we have the hymnal here, you don't have it on Sunday, and I'm actually going to be preaching on this passage on Sunday, you might want to look at this hymn, number 386. We call it "Come, O Thou Traveller Unknown," because in modern hymnals we tend to name hymns after the first line of the poem. But Charles Wesley named it "Wrestling Jacob," because that passage in Genesis 32 has to do with a so-called wrestling match that Jacob has with this unknown traveler who turns out to be, in some sense, God. right? Isaac Watts, himself known, a great hymn writer, he sings his hymns like When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. He said that he thought this poem by Charles Wesley was better than anything, all his hymns put together. That's how moved Isaac Watts was by this Charles Wesley poem, hymn. Samuel, do you know this hymn at all? You're familiar with it? Okay, come. So since we've got Samuel, and he probably told me that before, but I didn't realize that his dad, I may have forgotten, his dad is also serving as a lay pastor in one of the churches. Are you able to play this one, 986? If not, I'll just play it on the guitar. 386. We might as well, since we have the hymnal, sing. We won't sing 14 verses, otherwise it would kill us. 386. If you don't know this one, then you just sit down and enjoy it, because we don't really sing it that often. And I think I better sing it in a lower key than in the hymnal. But I'm sure some of you know this. How many of you know this? Okay, we don't sing it often enough, right? Okay, so let's sing, maybe we'll just sing the first 4 verses that are there rather than the next page where you have the full 14 verses. Oh, so you all have the hymnal? I could look it up on a separate file if you want, up here. Do you all prefer looking at the hymnal? Okay, or you want it out there? Okay, let me get the file out for you. Oh, I see, you guys have it in your... Okay, so maybe you should tell Pastor Noel we should sing this one a bit more. Come, O thou traveler unknown, who still I hold and cannot see, my company before his throne, and I am left alone with thee, all 14 stanzas, and each stanza is sort of a reflection and meditation that derives from this passage in Genesis chapter 32, verses 24 to 32. And I'm going to share from it on Sunday morning. It is a mysterious passage in many ways, but it can evoke so many different thoughts. And Charles Wesley took 14 stanzas to sort of put down some of his meditations on this. But if you can't get it and understand it all, and I think none of us can fully understand Genesis 24, I think Wesley has got it right. It's got the heart of the message you see in that refrain that he has. Tell me what is your name, and the response is God's name is love. And ultimately that becomes that message. God is a God of love. And I think that forms quite a good summary of, I think, one of the major theme of Genesis as well. Although it may not explicitly use the phrase God is love, we have that, of course, in the New Testament in John's epistle, where God is love. But Genesis, in many ways, demonstrates to us a God who ultimately, the way he deals with individuals, the way he deals with nations, is true to his character, and his character is that of grace. Or we tend to use the word love, but grace and faithful kindness towards people and towards nations. So I thought, since you have the hymnal, you might as well look and see that there are 14 verses, and our hymnal does print out those 14 verses for you if you ever want to work through them. All right. So if you have your Bible, you might want to turn to Genesis chapter 12, because that's kind of picking up the story in Genesis. And in chapter 12, we get introduced to Abraham. Oh, how impolite of me. Greetings from Track Singapore. That was then to remind me in case I forgot to say that. Greetings from Track Singapore. I don't remember you introducing me as Track Malaysia President, but it's a joy to be associated with your President Jaya. But I bring you greetings from your sisters and brothers in Singapore. And I thought, since I've come and I've been a recipient of the wonderful hospitality of your leaders, and I'm sure they're going to continue to look after me well tomorrow and Sunday, I thought I'd come and bring a couple of gifts. One gift, but I brought a couple of them. I've got 2 more tomorrow in case I have an opportunity, so that I can bring you something from Singapore as well. And I put it up there on the screen. It's a little cross. I think it's using the shape of bamboo, so they call it a bamboo cross. But I think it's coated with, I don't know whether it's Selangor pewter or whatever, but it's quite heavy, and so it's a nice cross. And I'm going to try and have an opportunity to give this out tonight to some of you, maybe if you answer a question correctly or something like that. But I want to straight away say to you, so that you don't get offended when you get the gift and you say, what kind of gift is this from the President of Singapore? This gift didn't cost me anything. Our Methodist Church in Singapore headquarters has been undergoing renovations. We're in the midst of renovations. So when you do renovations, you're going to pack up the office and things like that. And someone found a box full of these. And so when you get it, if you want to throw away the box, by all means throw away the box, because these are over 25 years old. And the box hasn't lasted well. But the cross inside has lasted well. Right? That's the Selangor pewter. In 1991, the Methodist Church in Singapore hosted the World Methodist Conference. A World Methodist Conference is run every 5 years, and Methodist churches from all over the world gather in one place. And in 1991, Singapore was blessed. I can't remember whether we did it joint with Malaysia, but anyway, it was held in Singapore. We hosted it, and these were one of the souvenirs that we created at that time. I can't remember whether we sold them or gave them out as souvenirs. We probably sold them as souvenirs. But tonight I give them out to you free. Right? The bamboo cross. And you'll see the box tells you it's 1991 World Methodist Conference. Right? You throw away the box. Some of you may want to keep the box and say, well, so here it is. I don't know why you can't see the rest of the screen, but I'm going to put up some verses from the book of Genesis. And the first person to stand up or raise your hands and spot the similarity in all of these verses, you get the prize. Okay? Here you go. Three other verses. Spot the similarity in all of these verses. Chapter 2, verse 4, this is the account of the heavens and the earth. Chapter 6, verse 9. I see one hand. Yes, Gillian. Right, the phrase, this is the account. Very good. Very easy. Here you go. In your outline, I've listed 11 times where this phrase occurs in the book of Genesis. This is the account of one, I think the latest NIV translation. Some of the other translations you have made, these are the generations of. In Hebrew, the word that I put there in red is literally these are the generations of. Some of our older English translations may have used the words generation. But my point is, this phrase occurs 11 times in the book of Genesis. You know, that exact phrase. This is the story of, this is the account of, these are the generations of. So some scholars think maybe this is the way the book of Genesis is actually divided. This sort of catchphrase. So this is the story of the account of the heavens and the earth, so talking about creation. This is the account of, or story of Adam. This is the account of, or generations of Noah. And then it goes through all these various. So maybe the ancient writer or editor used this phrase to sort of break up in his understanding how he was dividing the book of Genesis. So that is possible. I put up there in our notes the 9 or bracket 11. The reason I've done 9 or 11 is in terms of the names, there are 9, and I number them there in your notes, 1 to 9. The way we get, but the phrase, this is the account of, or these are the generations of, is used 11 times because you will see there under 4a, your notes I put there, Shem. For some reason, the phrase occurs twice. You've got these are the generations of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And then later, just one chapter later, in chapter 11, verse 10, you've got it again for Shem. So whether you count that as a new section or as part of 4, so you either count it as 9 or 11. Again, you have it in the second half. Esau is mentioned twice, chapter 36, verse 1, and then 8 verses later, 36, verse 9. Again, you have the phrase, this is the account of Esau. So scholars sometimes say it's divided into 9. Some even say 10. So they count 10 and they assume the other one is a duplicate. But you know, so it's either 9, 10, or 11, depending on how you want to count for it. But I'm not gonna use this way of dividing the book of Genesis. I told you I've decided to opt for, since I've only got 4 sessions, I'm dividing it the way I think most of us are more familiar with because we attach it to the big names, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. So that's how I'm going to be handling our 4 sessions. Alright, although it does look as if maybe the ancient editor was thinking in terms of these sort of divisions. What's a bit odd, at least from our point of view, is you don't have one saying this is the account of Abraham. He's obviously a major figure in Genesis 12 to 15, but the editor doesn't have that phrase at all. This is the story or the account of Abraham. Although he features very much under the section, this is the account of Terah, who was Abraham's father. Terah hardly features, he's just there to introduce, he's the father of Abraham, etc. And then it really is all about Abraham. And for some reason, this catchphrase or this whatever phrase, whatever adjective you want to give it, the way of dividing the book is addressed with Terah and not Abraham. And the other odd one is number 9 there, this is the story of Jacob, and you don't actually have a section saying this is the account of Joseph, which is again very odd because Joseph's story is really the longest story that we have in the book of Genesis. He runs from chapter 37 all the way to chapter 50. This is the longest story that we have in Genesis, and yet the editor does not use, the inspired editor or writer of the book of Genesis doesn't use the phrase, this is the story of Joseph. We can only guess, but I think there can be no doubt that Joseph is a major character within the content there. Okay, so that's one way of summarizing the book of Genesis, using the phrase, these are the generations of, this is the account of. Okay, so that's boring stuff, but some of you like these sort of things, so I thought I'd just mention that to you because that is there in Genesis. Okay? If you want to ask me more about that later, you can, but if not, let me get into an overview of Genesis 1 to 50 before I concentrate a bit more on Abraham. If you were with us in the last session, or if you know Genesis 1 to 11, you will know chapter 11 ends with the famous story of the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel, which I hope is familiar to most of you. Now, Babel actually is in Hebrew exactly the same word for Babylon. Okay, so in Hebrew, the word for Babylon is Babel, and we translated Babylon, and it's being used of Babylon. Okay, so if you read in Hebrew, Babylon is Babel. Okay, so in chapter 11, we end with the Tower of Babylon, if you like, the Tower of Babel. And you know how it ends with all the different peoples being scattered and going to different parts of the earth. Genesis chapter 12, after chapter 11, now picks up the story with Abraham. And where does Abraham come from? He comes from Ur of the Chaldees, right? That's the phrase we have in the Bible. But any ancient reader would have known what the Chaldees refers to. It refers to the area that we call Babylon. And so some of our modern translations may sometimes translate the word Chaldee as Babylon or Babylonia. Alright? So the story actually picks up from chapter 11. In the Tower of Babylon or Babel, there is division or scattering. But then God is continuing his story in human history, and he draws someone out of Babylon, Abraham, and we will see when we study the opening verses of chapter 12 that his goal, his aim is that through Abraham to unite all the nations and all the peoples of the world under what we sometimes call Abrahamic blessing. Because Abraham's task or commission is to be a blessing to all the peoples of the earth. So this is the God that we are dealing with in Genesis. Yes, in chapter 11 the people scatter, but then God draws someone out of Babel or Babylon, Abraham, and his job is to bless the whole world. Okay, but God is now working through one particular line, one particular person to bring blessing to the whole world. Secondly, Babylon's Babel, as I said, divides the world. Abraham's blessing will unite the nations. I put the verse up there, chapter 12, verse 3. We'll say a bit more about that later this evening. All peoples on earth will be blessed through you. So that was the purpose of God calling Abraham out of Babylon, to bring blessing, in fact, to all the people scattered throughout all the earth. I said it again and again in part 1 when we were doing Genesis 1 to 11. There's a strong emphasis on God being the God of all people, not just Israel, not just Jews, not just Christians. It starts with creation, God creating all of mankind. Chapter 1 to 11 is a focus on all of mankind. We do not have a narrowing or focus on Israel until now, the second half of Genesis, when we get to Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. But the Genesis as a whole, even now through Abraham, the emphasis is on reaching all the nations, blessing all the nations. Not just blessing one nation, but blessing all the nations. So Genesis clearly has a very universal blessing theme. And not trying to emphasize an elitist theme of being one chosen people in exclusion of other people. Although often, we sometimes have the tendency to try and narrow God's focus, and we say it's a bit unfair, isn't it? And God just wants to bless one nation and not other people. That really isn't the message of Genesis. The message of Genesis is God wants to bless all. But in order to bless all, he has to work with one group. And he's chosen to work through the Abraham line. I guess he could have chosen to work through the Chinese line, but God didn't. Genesis 1 begins with creation. And although it's not obvious from our English translation, it is creation out of a watery chaos. In Genesis 1:2, you've got that phrase, darkness was over the surface of the deep. That's how we translate it in English. But I may have mentioned it when we did Genesis 1 last year. the phrase that is used there, for the ancient leaders, they would have understood it to be referring to the waters, the seas, which in ancient minds, the sea was a chaos. In ancient mythology, the sea had monsters. It was a very dangerous sort of place, very disordered, chaotic. But out of that chaos, that deep, God started to bring order. Created the heavens and the earth. Day 1, matching day 4. Day 2, matching day 5. Day 3, matching day 6. I spent some time doing that with you, I think, part 1. So anyhow, Genesis 1 begins with creation of the world out of the chaos. In a sense, you could say Genesis 12 now, there's a new creation. Now God is starting again with Abraham, called out of the chaos of Babel, the chaos of the Tower of Babylon. Right? So you've got that setting there. So God is beginning again, if you like, to try and bring His blessing to all people. D, God blesses Adam in Genesis chapter 1 with the responsibility to govern or rule over all of creation. So again, there's that universal outlook in God's mind. Rule over the fish and the birds and over every living creature. So Adam was given permission to rule over all of creation. Now with Abraham, Abraham is given the charge to be a blessing to all the peoples of the earth. Right? So I don't know whether we're meant to see a contrast or concentrate more on the similarity. If we were to see a contrast, we've got Adam called to manage or look after all of the creation. In Abraham, the emphasis is on blessing. God wants to bring blessing. I would have thought, I tend to see it more as similarity rather than contrast. To properly rule or to properly manage is a blessing, would be a blessing. But some tend to see the word more as it's a bit not so good. Ruling, it means superiority. I don't think that's the intention. But anyhow, quite clearly with the Abraham story, the emphasis is on Abraham being blessing. Not being a dictator, not being an oppressor, but being a blessing to all people. And certainly not negatively ruling over them. Okay? Blessing all nations. So the emphasis is on all nations, all peoples. Another very simplistic, but I think in some ways meaningful way of thinking of Genesis is to see it as part of the whole story of the Bible that we have. So we have in chapter 1 to 11, we've got life in the Garden of Eden, paradigm of chapter 2, and it ends in chapter 11 with the confusion in Babel, the Tower of Babel. So it's from life in Eden to life in Babylon. And then as I just mentioned, chapter 12, Genesis, continues from Babylon, drawing Abraham out of Babylon, Ur of the Chaldees, and the story in Genesis will end in Egypt, chapter 15. Okay? If you hopefully your memory will be jogged as we rush through chapters 12 to 50 tomorrow, but you will see it ends in Egypt. And if you don't know how they got to Egypt, then great! You got a chance to find out over tomorrow how the story develops and we end up in Egypt. Okay, but anyway, I'm sure many of you already know that. Genesis ends in Egypt. And then, quickly taking you through the rest of the Bible, Exodus, the very next book, starts in Egypt. Right, we're in Egypt, and then by that stage, you've got the Hebrews being oppressed by the Egyptians. And so then God has to take them out of Egypt. The Exodus out of Egypt, and they end up in Canaan, in the Promised Land. So Exodus to Joshua takes you from that journey from Egypt, out of Egypt into Canaan, okay, via Mount Sinai, and then coming into the Promised Land. And then continuing through the Bible, the book of Judges to Kings, we're in Canaan. We're in Canaan for most of the time, but at the end of these series of books, Judges, Samuel, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, by the end of the 2nd Kings, we are now back in Babylon. Okay, Jerusalem has been destroyed by Babylon, and the king and many of the leading rulers, leading citizens, are brought as exiles to Babylon. So the 2nd Kings ends with us, with the Hebrews back in Babylon, in what we call the exile. They are now exiled in Babylon. And then you've got books like Ezra to Nehemiah, where we are already in Babylon. We're in Babylon, and how God wants to start bringing them back to Jerusalem. Right? So this, again, I'm just giving you an overview of the Bible, and hopefully for some of you this is just helps you put everything together. But this is actually how it holds together. From Babylon, now God's sending the Hebrews in Babylon back to Jerusalem. This way you have the stories of Ezra and Nehemiah. They were there in Babylon, and then they go back to Jerusalem. Nehemiah goes back, builds the walls of Jerusalem. Okay? And so via Persia and Greece, because by that stage Persia had conquered Babylon. So even though at the end of 2 Kings you were in Babylon, then later Persia will conquer Babylon, so Persia becomes the new world power. And under the Persian rule, they are allowed to go back, the Jews are allowed to go back to Jerusalem. And then Greece then takes over after Persia. And you've got the book of Daniel that does focus quite a bit on the Greek period. But anyhow, in Jerusalem and the New Testament, as you know, we are in Jerusalem or back in the Promised Land in Canaan with Jesus. And then again, a very simplistic summary. By the end of the New Testament, we are at the last chapter of the Bible, Revelation chapter 22. And there is explicit language that is used in Revelation chapter 22 that connects with Genesis chapter 2, the Garden of Eden, where you've got the river of life, the tree of life, there in Revelation chapter 22, which is picking up the imagery from Genesis chapter 2. So we come back to the tree of life. You've got a garden in Genesis 2, the Garden of Eden. You've got a garden-like paradise in Revelation chapter 22 with the river flowing and trees, and the tree of life is prominent. But of course the New Testament story goes from Jerusalem via Samaria and Rome. Rome at the end of Acts, Paul is there in Rome, and then to the ends of the earth. Okay, so it basically covers the ancient world, and that really is one way of looking at the way the Bible story unfolds. It's moving right across various parts of the world. And we begin with the tree of life in Eden, and we end in Revelation 22 with the tree of life in the New Jerusalem. It's called the New Heaven, New Earth, New City of Jerusalem. Okay, so that's it. I'm giving you a quick summary of the Bible. I'll pause a while in case anyone wants me to clarify what I've said. Like I said, I do hope to allow at least 20 minutes before 9:30, so by 9:10 or earlier, I will try and encourage questions. But in case someone wants to say something or quickly ask me now, you forget it by 9:10. Okay, now let's move on. I know we're fighting the tiredness of a week, and it's Friday night. One more summary sort of statement. It will come out again, I think, tomorrow when I end up with the story of Joseph. But coming now back to Genesis, leaving behind the rest of the Bible, if you like, coming back to what I was asked to speak on, Genesis 12 to 50. It speaks to us about God, good, and the corruption of good. This is another way of summarizing the book of Genesis. It's a theme or a thread that runs through the book of Genesis. Quite clearly, Genesis chapter 1 begins by emphasizing that God created the world good. God saw that it was good. It was good. 7 times, chapter 1. It was good. It was good. It was very good. It ends towards Genesis 1. So quite an emphasis on how God created the world good. And with a good purpose, therefore, wanting to bless all creatures and nations. And in the last chapter of Genesis, one of Joseph's most powerful lines, speaking to his brothers who sold him off as a slave to Egypt, he says to his brothers, "You meant it for evil. You all had wicked purposes in mind. But God used it for good." God meant it for good. So you get that same, and this is a major theme that runs through the book of Genesis. God intended good. Humans somehow have a way of corrupting that good, bringing in a lot of evil and sin and all kinds of dysfunction in our relationships. And there's a lot of that in the book of Genesis, and we're going to see a lot of that tomorrow as well. But all of that human dysfunction and human bad, if you like, God is bringing good, trying to fulfill His purposes of wanting to bring blessing and good for all nations and all people. So I think that is, again, quite a good way to summarize the story of Genesis. God created the world with a good purpose to bless all His creatures and all nations. Human sin keeps corrupting God's good purposes, but God's grace keeps going, starts again and again. Very quickly, you know the story of Adam and Eve, right? God creates Adam and Eve, it's beautiful, but then, their sin, they're wanting to be independent of God, eating of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. You've got Noah, again, God works wonderfully through Noah, but immediately after the Noah story, Noah ends up getting drunk, and then, he gets terribly drunk, and quite an embarrassing sort of episode. So, none of our heroes are perfect. None of us are perfect. Human sin always somehow has a way of getting there, but God keeps on. And He keeps blessing the world through Noah's line. You've got Abraham even. We're going to see how God chose Abraham, called Abraham out of Babylon, asked him to be such a blessing, and Abraham is such a wonderful person. He expressed faith. But in chapter 12, the very opening chapter where this wonderful blessing is pronounced upon Abraham, you're going to have the story immediately after that of him lying to Pharaoh about his wife, Sarah. Right? And he said, he's afraid for his life. So he said, tell Sarah, will you just say you're my sister, not my wife, because if they know you're my wife, they may kill me so that they can then take you. But anyway, you probably know that story. I'll say a bit more about that tomorrow. But straight away in chapter 12, you've got this very negative picture of Abraham, because as humans, we do falter. And I'm not saying that to judge Abraham or condemn him, but I'm just saying, this is the story of all of us as well. I mean, the best of us too. To use another biblical phrase, we all have clay of feet, feet of clay. We all have our Achilles heel and our weakness and our failures. But ultimately, God, in His faithfulness and His love, He keeps going with us. He doesn't say, Abraham, you failed. You've got to start again, pick someone else. No, he keeps working with Abraham. He keeps working with Isaac and Jacob. Jacob is we'll hear more about him tomorrow if you don't already know. He's deceiver number one. That kind of line. And yet God has worked through his line. So Isaac also, like his father Abraham, lies about his beautiful wife, Rebecca. Isaac, all kinds of problems with his two children, his two sons. So all this human dysfunction comes in. Jacob too, his family, what a mess. Jacob with his two wives and sort of unhappiness those two wives experienced, and I'm sure the unhappiness they experienced was transmitted to poor Jacob as well. He may have had a lot to do with it. If you're unfamiliar with all these kind of phrases I'm using, tomorrow I'll try and unpack that for you. And if you're not aware of the very explicit family dysfunction that is described in the book of Genesis, it's obviously a major theme. Come tomorrow. Better still, quickly read through Genesis 12 to 15. Skim read it. You'll be amazed at the stories that are there. They reflect our lives. They are our stories as well. Because we all struggle with family relationships, sibling relationships, cousins, uncles. Joseph as well. I mean, the story of Joseph. We got him fairly useful, maybe a bit brash as a youngster, getting in all kinds of trouble. You got his brothers hating him so much that they're willing to kill him. In the end, they decide not to kill him, but to sell him off, right? So you got all these human problems coming in, and yet God's purpose to bring blessing to the whole world is working, countering, as it were, all this danger and evil that human sin brings upon itself. Right? So that is, I think, one way of summarizing the story of Genesis. God created the world with a good purpose, to bless all creatures and nations. Human sin continues to corrupt God's good purposes, but God's grace keeps going. And we believe by faith triumphs in the end. Okay? So that's the book we call Genesis. So this is a summary of the whole book in case you can't come tomorrow. Saturday, I know many other things, important things to do, maybe with the family. You need to spend time with the family outside of church. I understand that. Okay? So here's the summary. Right, this is it. This is Genesis. So I'm going to move into chapter 12, focus on Abraham and the great blessing. But before I do that, let's pause, think we're Methodist. You know, Methodist is supposed to be famous for singing. Let me sing a song get us to sing a song that reinforces the point I just made. God is the one who has begun His work in our lives, in the people. He's begun His good work. He will see it to the end. Let's put our faith not in great human leaders. We may have great human leaders, but even the greatest of our human leaders will have feet of clay. We will have dysfunctions and failures. There will be times when our leaders let us down. So we trust in God, who works through even the evil of human brothers to bring such blessing to the whole world. And He can work through our evil human leaders. He can work through us with all our sin and our shortcomings. Because ultimately He is the God who is good. And so if we are feeling a bit discouraged, maybe at our own failures, so we are bashing ourselves up, let's remember that it's not about us, it's about God, and let's put our faith in God. So this is a chorus that I hope some of you know, based on Philippians 1:6, which says that Paul writes to the Philippians and said he's confident that He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. He who began a good work in you, He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. He'll be faithful to complete it. He who started the work will be faithful to complete it in you. Sing with me. He who began a good work in you. He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. He'll be faithful to complete it. He who started the work will be faithful to complete it in you. If the struggle you're facing is slowly replacing your hope with despair, or the process is long and you're losing your song in the night, you can be sure that the Lord has His hand on you, safe and secure. He will never abandon you. You are His treasure, and He finds His pleasure in you. He who began a good work in you, He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. He'll be faithful to complete it. He who started the work will be faithful to complete it in you. Father, we thank You for the book of Genesis, the stories it tells us, stories of ourselves and how we so often get ourselves into trouble. We mess up. The story of how You continue to bring blessing and goodness, grace, forgiveness and kindness. Father, before we continue tonight, we pause just a little while to pray that you will continue to do this in our lives, in all of our mess. We think of people, loved ones maybe, that we know, whose lives are also in a bit of a mess. And we humbly ask that you will do your good work in them. Through all their struggles, Father, please be faithful to your character of kindness and abundant grace. Continue to work in their lives. And please draw them back to a place where they can be blessed and a blessing to others. So Lord, in your mercy, hear our prayers. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so God created the world with a good purpose, and God intends to keep on with his good purpose. And, by his grace, he wants to use us, just like he wants to use Abraham to bring blessing to others. Okay, again, quick pause for questions. This is not yet the 20 minutes that I was thinking of, because I do want to take you into the famous passage in Genesis 12, where God first says that wonderful word of blessing to Abraham. And I've entitled the section in your notes, Means or Model of Blessing, because there's an interesting debate over the translation of this famous passage. But we might as well at least read what I put up on the screen, so that we remind ourselves of this passage. The Lord had said to Abraham, I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you. I'm going to focus on that last line, because I think that is the major theme in the book of Genesis. God's desire to bless not just Abraham and his line, but all peoples on earth. But before I do that, very quickly, just note how everybody knows the name of Abraham today. So in some ways his name is great. In Sunday school we even sing songs, Father Abraham and many children had Father Abraham. Right, some of them were tall, some of them were short. But all of Abraham is, and even the Muslims, they revere Abraham as they trace their line through Abraham. So God has fulfilled this desire to make Abraham's name great. But I want to focus on that last phrase, because I think that's really a part of God choosing Abraham. All peoples on earth will be blessed through Abraham. Okay? And the three major monotheistic religions in the world, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. These are the three major religions that believe in a monotheistic God, one God and God alone. All trace their roots to Abraham. Okay, this is the debate before I unpack it. I think I put this example there in your notes too. They were dressed in black. We have this phrase in English, but if I were to ask you, how did they get dressed? Who dressed them in black? What's the answer? If you've got this phrase, they were dressed in black, who dressed them in black? You could answer it in two ways, right? They dressed themselves, they were dressed in black, or maybe mom dressed her children in black. They were dressed in black. Could have been someone else dressing them in black. This is what grammarians call passive verb or a reflexive verb. Sorry to bore you with that, but anyway, I hope the example will make it clear. Here's another example. They will learn the piano. They will learn to play the piano. Well, how will they learn? Will they learn themselves, self-taught? Or will someone teach them how to play the piano? Will they learn themselves? They will learn themselves how to play the piano That is what we call a reflexive verb. It's reflexive, it comes back to yourself. You yourself are doing the action. You yourself learn to play the piano. Versus a passive verb, they will be taught how to play the piano. They will be learned how to play the piano, if you like. And that becomes passive. They were dressed by someone else. Passive. Someone else was actively doing the action. You passively received it. Okay. English teachers, I apologize if I made it too simplistic in the explanation of passive or reflexive verb. I hope though you understand the two possible ways of understanding this phrase. They were dressed in black. Who dressed them? Did they dress themselves? Or did someone else dress them? Okay. Did they teach themselves how to learn the piano, or were they taught? Were they learned by someone else? That's the debate that you have over this phrase in Genesis. Oh, sorry, I got this out there. They will be taught the piano. I've already walked you through this. All will be blessed by Abraham. That's how the NIV translates it. All the nations will be blessed. Or should it be, all the nations will be blessed, or will bless themselves through Abraham? Let me just show you a couple of. So the NIV puts it, all peoples on earth will be blessed through you, Abraham. So that sounds more like an emphasis on the passive. All the peoples of the earth passively will receive blessing through Abraham, or from Abraham. Abraham blesses all the peoples of the earth. So Abraham becomes the means, or the channel, by which people are blessed. They are blessed by Abraham. They are blessed through Abraham's actions, or through Abraham's whatever he does, right? Is that what the phrase means? Abraham is the means of blessing all the nations? Or it could legitimately be translated the way the Revised Standard Version translates it, by you, Abraham, all the families of the earth shall bless themselves. Right, so this is another major English translation. It's been around since the 70s. And by you, all the families of the earth shall bless themselves. See, so that's understanding the verb as a reflexive. All the nations of the earth will be blessed. They will bless themselves through Abraham. In short, I use this. Abraham then, in what way is he connected to this blessing? He is the model of blessing. People will say, Lord, please bless, may we be blessed the way Abraham was blessed. So it's not Abraham doing the blessing, but Abraham is the model of blessing by which people aspire to be blessed. May we be as blessed as Abraham was. May the things we do end up in blessing for ourselves, just as much as Abraham was so blessed. Let us be so blessed. And so Abraham becomes then a model of what it means to be blessed. So first you understand the two ways of the phrase. If you have, then let me try and explain what difference that makes in terms of the way we hear God's word speaking to us. I think both translations are possible. I think both translations have the potential to be applied in very positive, pastorally meaningful, and encouraging and edifying ways. Both translations also have the possibility of being applied in very negative, arrogant, and not so edifying ways. Right? So I don't think the issue hinges on which translation you choose. The issue hinges on how you apply it in an edifying and good way. And I think that's the way we are meant to apply. So let me just first talk about the means of blessing. If you take this translation, which is the more common one in most of our Bibles, Abraham is the means or channel of blessing to others. I think then it functions, God's word functions here as an encouragement for us, for Abraham and for us who are sons of Abraham, to go out and be a blessing to other people. The word good I put there is, I think this is a good application. I think this is a correct application of the text. We ought, by telling Abraham, through you, all the nations of the earth will be blessed. It's like a commission to Abraham. Will you go out there and bring blessing to all people? Wherever you go, will you be a blessing to people? Will you try and bless their lives? Will you do things for them that will be a blessing to them? So it can be an encouragement for us to go out and be a blessing to others. And we who are the sons of Abraham, I think if we can take that word, in a sense we live also with this call. Let us go out and bring this Abrahamic blessing to the people we meet. Let Christians be known as people who bless others, who bring good into other people's lives. Wouldn't that be wonderful if the church was known as a place that blessed people, that people found help and blessing through Christians and the church? And praise the Lord, I have read many testimonies of others who have said, yes, I'm so thankful for the church, the way that it provided such subsidized education for my children or whatever, things like that. We ought to be a blessing to people. So I think understood as the means or channels of blessing, it can be a positive thing to encourage us to go out and fulfill this Abrahamic commission to bring blessing to people. Unfortunately, it can also be applied rather negatively, whereas you start to be arrogant. Oh, God has chosen me to bless you. So, the blessing comes through me, and you can start to be a little bit arrogant. I am the chosen means of blessing to you. I am chosen by God to be a channel of blessing. And if you have that attitude, then it comes across very, I think, negatively. I am giving out the blessing. Come and receive from the blessings that God has entrusted to me. And it can be received, it can be perceived negatively and not very lovingly. And your blessing will not be a really good blessing. So try now, just remember there's a phrase from Shakespeare that captures this quite well. Shakespeare experts, this is, I think, rich gifts. Okay, so this is a paraphrase. Those of you who are Shakespeare experts, if you can remind me of the exact phrase, it goes something like this. Rich gifts given poorly prove the giver unkind. Rich gifts, if you give it in a poor way, whether arrogantly or you need some help, let me help. Rich gifts given poorly, and I'm sure that's not Shakespeare's phrase, but that last bit is prove the giver unkind. Make the giver actually unkind. And, it's like handing out and say, okay, you need this, okay, I give you So at that point, there's the danger. Yeah, God has chosen me to be the blessing to all people, and you become arrogant, and it shows. If you're arrogant, it shows in the way you try and bring the blessing. So that would be wrong. And I'm certain that's not what God wants us to take away from this verse. Rather, He wants to encourage us to go out there humbly, to bring whatever blessing we can to other people. Right? To love our neighbors as ourselves. The model of blessing translation also, I think, is positive. Can be understood in a partially positive way of God bringing assurance to Abraham. Imagine if Abraham was someone who was feeling very discouraged, wondering, what is my life coming to? It's possible that was how Abraham was feeling at the start of chapter 12. He had left Ur of the Chaldees. Now, the scholars of the ancient world say, and they dig up their remains, they think Ur was one of the major cities of the ancient world. If you like, it's our New York, London of today. So Abraham was living in New York, London. Now he's called to leave this great city, so to speak, and to go to who knows where, his backyard. He goes out in obedience, but then maybe he's feeling discouraged. Why on earth have I left this place? There's nothing here. I'm doing nothing. And then here comes this, Abraham, I'm going to bless your life in such a way that other people are going to say, may my children be blessed the way Abraham was blessed. So it becomes an encouragement. Abraham, I will bless you. I will make your name great, so great that people, generations to come will be wanting to be blessed, will want to bless themselves the way you were blessed. So then it functions as a word of encouragement to Abraham. just as it could function as a word of encouragement to us. The Lord wants us our lives in the end to be a model, such that other people will say, yeah, I pray that my children will be a bit like so and so. You know, what a blessing. May my family be like that family, a model of blessing. So it's an assurance that our lives will be considered blessed by others, even though at present we may be feeling very discouraged, very deprived. Or as that chorus that we sang earlier, which I taught you, when you're facing a trouble, your life is in despair, remember, He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. Let's believe that God will be able, as we learn to trust in Him, make our lives a model of blessing to others, so that encourages our lives will be meaningful, will have purpose. It will be a blessing and an encouragement to other people. Of course, it can also be applied in a negative and bad way. So I don't think we should understand God's word in this way. The model of blessing translation can lead to an arrogant sort of, okay, so God promises that my life will be blessed, so that other people want to be as blessed as God is blessed. So Lord, I want to be that model of blessing, so I expect that my life is going to be blessed. So Lord, bless me with wealth, bless me with health, so that other people will see my health and my wealth and say, I want to be as healthy and as wealthy as so and so. So you see, it can function wrongly and say, since the Lord wants me to be a model of blessing for others, I by faith believe that my life will be a super model of blessing. I will be blessed with wealth, I will be blessed with health. So everybody will say, yeah, I want to be blessed just like that. I think that would be a wrong application of this translation, okay? The model of blessing. It should not justify self-preservation and self-promotion on the grounds that God says I'm going to be a model. If I'm going to be a model of blessing, then surely my life is going to be free from curse, free from suffering. Because if I'm going to be a model of blessing, it's going to be something that people feel is a blessed life. So Lord, please, if you justify your self-preservation, self-promotion, your self-help, self-wealth on this model, so that others will want to be like us. I don't think we should push it that way. That would be, I think, a poor application of this verse. The good is if you take it as an assurance, I will bless your life. You may not feel very blessed, but your life will be blessed, and people will look at you and say, maybe even he went through a lot of difficulty in life, but God is blessed him. And I hope my family or I will show the same kind of character and devotion in the midst of this difficult life, that sort of thing. Or if the other translation, means of blessing, it's an encouragement for us to go out in whatever little way we can, love our neighbors, bring a blessing to them, be a blessing to others. But let's not make that arrogant, make us become arrogant. Okay? So I think that's the Abrahamic challenge and commission. All the peoples on the earth will be blessed through you. I spent, this is the major thing that I wanted to bring up to you about Abraham tonight, because actually this promise gets repeated right through the rest of Genesis chapter 50. It gets repeated for Isaac, it gets repeated for Jacob, and then you'll see in the story of Joseph is a channel of blessing to so many people. So this is a theme verse, if you like, of Genesis 12 to 50. God's blessing through Abraham and his family. So God in Genesis calls Abraham, the individual, to be a blessing to others. And although in the box I've said calls individuals, you will also know that in many ways Abraham and his sons represent not just individual families, but they represent peoples and nations. Jacob ends up becoming the nation of Israel. Okay? So it becomes a bigger picture. God calls individuals, and I think God calls nations And his charge to individuals and nations is that they might think not of themselves primarily, but think of how they can be a blessing to others. I think that is God's challenge to us through Genesis. Okay? So I promise to stop for questions before 9:30 because we must be tired and we want to get back to our homes and our beds. Are there any questions? Things you would like me to clarify? Tomorrow morning, if the Lord tarries and we come back together again, although I've said the second session will be on Isaac. Isaac's life is so closely connected with Abraham, so I will be, of course, saying a bit about Abraham as well. So don't think I've left Abraham out altogether after tonight. But any questions on what I've shared tonight that you'd like me to comment a bit further on? Yes, thank you.
Please comment on 12.
Oh, there's a mic. I think they want you to. Yes.
Please comment on 12:3, the second part. And whoever curses you, I will curse. What is the intention of this negative?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You'll know that I skipped over that part, which is a bit not so nice. Sure, I will make your name great. Whoever blesses you, I will bless. Let me just bring up that verse for us to see. Okay, so this is it. I will bless those who bless you. Whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you. So naturally, we don't like that phrase, I will curse those. Whoever curses you, I will curse. How do we understand that? So let me share with you how I think we ought to understand that. God is here encouraging Abraham. And in my understanding of this encouragement, he's asking Abraham to go out and be a blessing to all people. So this is what Abraham represents. Abraham represents the kind of life where you go out to bless others. You live a life such that people see in your life a model of blessing and therefore want to be like Abraham, a model of blessing others, being blessed. And so I understand this idea, that phrase there, I will bless those who bless you. And so those who bless Abraham and what he represents, the life of being a blessing to others, the life of living in such a way that others too see in our lives something desirable. That is what it means to bless Abraham. Those who bless this picture of Abraham as living to be a blessing and a model, a means and a model of blessing, will be blessed. So those who adopt this way of living to be a blessing and a model of blessing, a means and model of blessing, in New Testament, actually it's an Old Testament phrase, but it's emphasized much more by Jesus, the model of being loving to your neighbor, going seeking to bring blessing to your neighbor, to love your neighbor as yourself. Those who bless this kind of life, this kind of philosophy, will be blessed. Those who curse that's just for softies. In this real world, you've got to live for yourself. Survival of the fittest. Those who curse the life of Abraham, which is a life centered not on oneself but on blessing others. Those who say that, that's only for softies. If you're going to survive in this world, you've got to look out for yourself. So those who curse Abraham will be cursed. It's self-destructive. I think that's what it's trying to say. If you do not live to bless and to bless your neighbor as yourself, you're going to, in the end up bringing more curse upon yourself. Let me just quickly share with you, I found this quite helpful. Someone talked about the way we relate to fellow human beings. These are very typical models. One, we try and relate as we want to dominate others, us over them, domination. Then that often, there are other relations, those who are dominated try and overthrow. There's revolution. Us overthrowing those who are trying to dominate us. So the dictators, the oppressors get overthrown by the revolutionaries. But these new revolutionaries, if they succeed, end up becoming the new dominating power quite often. There's assimilation. Us, we absorb them. They become like us. Purification, us eliminating them. Oh, these guys, they're a danger to our society. We better get them out, drive them out. And again, this is played out in human history. We've got these examples of certain people being driven out of the country. There's competition, us competing against other people. There's victimization. Oh, yeah, I'm being oppressed. How horrible, and we feel like victims, and so we us oppressed by them, and we start feeling sorry for ourselves. Then there's isolation. I've got to get away from these guys who are victimizing us or oppressing us, and there's isolation. Various models of the way we relate with one another. Take too long to unpack. But anyhow, in short, this writer says the biblical way, though, is us for them. Us self-sacrificing for others. Us seeking to be a blessing to others. Us for others, or for them. And this is really, I think this is what Jesus also said. This is the greatest commandment. To love God and then to love your neighbor as yourself. So you live for others. You live to bring blessing to others. That becomes your goal in life. Whatever blessing or gift or skill that God has given you, so whatever job or vocation or occupation you find yourself in, think of how your job can be a blessing to others. Think of how when you're not on your so-called paid job, you can be a blessing to others, whether it's in church or in a community club or whatever it is, or on the street. We live to be a blessing to others, and we relate to others. So anyway, that's a bit of a digression, but that's how I understand that. So those who curse this kind of philosophy, those who curse this idea of living to bless others instead of living to protect my own turf, my own family. Yeah. So those who curse the Abrahamic model will in the end find themselves, it's self-destructive, because God says that's not the way to find true fulfillment in life. The way to God is the creator. He made us to be a blessing to others. And if we start living for ourselves, we're never going to feel fully fulfilled. We will never reach that sense of satisfaction and contentment in life for which humanity was created. For we were created to love our neighbors as ourselves. Us, for I, for others, for them. So I think that's what that curse is. And none of us want to be cursed. So it's a way of God saying, let's not curse the Abrahamic lifestyle, let's adopt it, let's champion, let's bless the Abrahamic commission, which is to go out and be a blessing, not just to your own nation, but a blessing to all the peoples of the earth. Okay, any other questions? Yes. Yeah, the mic will be coming. Let me just get that here.
Very good. I just want to ask you, on this note, we also sometimes read, especially in the papers, about Israel. Those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. So is there a relation to what Genesis 12 is?
Okay, thank you. So just as when I was explaining the means and the model of translation and how you can apply it in a way that is edifying and good and positive, but you can also get it distorted and it ends up being an arrogant or in some way selfish way of applying it. I think that's the same problem with this thing. Those who bless Israel will be blessed. You've got to think, what does it mean to bless Israel? What does Israel stand for? So again, just like I've tried to explain Abrahamic blessing, if Israel, and in the Genesis story, you will see that Israel actually is the line of Abraham. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob is given the new name Israel. So Israel is meant to embody, if you like, Abraham's grandson. That's his name. And so Israel is meant, like Abraham, to be a blessing to all nations. Israel is meant to be a blessing to all people. Therefore, to bless Israel is to bless this idea of wanting to bless others. And if we bless Israel, we will be blessed. So, in that sense, it does fit in with, I think, the Abrahamic blessing. Because I think that is what that is meant to say. If we bless Israel, Israel not necessarily in its as humans, they're all negative stuff. Here, Israel in its ideal form, Abraham in his ideal form. It's like Abraham, as you'll see later, is not perfect. But I think in this blessing, to bless Abraham in his ideal form, the ideal form means in the calling where he ideally is meant to be a blessing to others. So if we bless Israel in that sense, Israel functioning as that kind of blessing to others, then that's the promise. Then that's the blessed life. We too will be blessed. But if Abraham is lying about his wife, Sarah, is at times, not being a blessing, but in fact thinking of himself and his own safety, and so forth, he lies about Sarah and puts Sarah into great danger. I mean, imagine that. Sarah ends up going into the harem of the Egyptian Pharaoh. I mean, very little is said about how Sarah felt about all this, but she ends up having to spend the night with the Pharaoh, maybe more than one night. It does look as if she spent some time there. That's Abraham thinking of himself and putting someone else, his wife, at such risk. Now, we don't want to bless that kind of Abraham. We don't want to bless that Abraham. That's no good. To bless that kind of Abraham would be bad. To bless that kind of Abraham would be to support this kind of, never mind about Sarah. Most important is Abraham's safety. Forget about Sarah, just push her down. That can also happen with Israel. We can so very simplistically say, okay, bless Israel, never mind about the Arabs, never mind about the Palestinians, never mind about what's going on there. We just want to make sure Israel is blessed. I think it shouldn't be as simple as that. The God of the Bible clearly stands not just for blessing and justice for one people. He stands for justice for all people, for all. Of course, that's very difficult in a complex world with all the politics. But to bless Israel would be to bless Israel to make sure it functions the way every nation is meant to function. To live for justice and kindness and mercy. To bless not just its own citizens but all. It must live like that. It cannot live just to protect itself at the expense of sending Sarah to a harem. That sort of an idea. So, yes, it is. I think it is connected, but how we apply it, I think we need wisdom and sensitivity and humility, rather than just simplistically saying, it's Israel, so everything they do we support. No, we mustn't support if they sending Sarah into some dangerous place. That would be bad. We support what is good, but we should not bless what is not good. 9:27. Shall we stop here? One last one, and then we'll sing a hymn, and then we'll close.
Thanks, Brother Wong. I've always thought of the verb as being passive rather than reflexive.
NIV translated the passage, so that's what we use.
But if I were to think of it as a model, can it go something like this? That because Abraham's faith was counted as righteous, that it's a model for us, for mankind, in the sense that we're be to be faithful then we would be blessed.
Okay, let me think about this a little. Certainly in chapter 12, Abraham's faith comes to, there is that mention of, his faith, and it gets reinforced. Because Abraham believed, it was reckoned to him as righteousness. So that, I think, is positive. It's clearly a positive picture of Abraham. So, to that extent, the model idea would certainly work. I want to be like Abraham in the way he had faith in God, the way he demonstrated faith in God and trust in God, and in his positive relationship with God. So, that part, yes, okay? It's that the last part that you tagged in, and I'm trying to think how to respond, where you sort of said, if we exercise the same kind of faith as Abraham did, then we too will be blessed the way Abraham was blessed.
Obviously, in our case, maybe I should have added faith in Jesus.
Okay, yeah. So that's fine. I mean, faith in Jesus, that works well. I think. That's a positive thing. There's nothing. So yes, I would say yes to that. It's just that I'm hesitating with that second bit of what you understand by that. And if we exercise faith in Jesus or faith in God, the way Abraham exercised faith in God, we will be blessed just like Abraham was blessed. So I think when you start applying it to your life, you've got to try and unpack what do you mean by be blessed the way Abraham was blessed. Are you thinking in terms of some specific material blessing or physical blessing, or just broadly speaking, this is the kind of life that God regards as blessed? If that is it, then yes. Yes, God wants us to exercise faith in God, faith in Jesus, because this is the blessed life. My concern is, how some people take that and say, okay, I will exercise faith in Jesus, faith in God, just like Abraham did, and therefore expect to be as wealthy as Abraham was. The very interesting thing, the wonderful way in which God's word works through stories. How did Abraham's wealth, how did he get so wealthy? It's here all in chapter 12. It's because of this horrible thing where he sends Sarah to the harem, right? And then when God speaks to the Pharaoh and says, this woman is married, he shows respect for God. He says, gets angry with Abraham and says, in order to not, because he feels maybe God might curse him because he had a married woman in his harem. It's showing a lot of respect for the sanctity of the marriage, unlike Abraham. Abraham wasn't showing a lot of concern for the sanctity of the marriage. This fellow says, let me give you a lot of stuff, and it talks, that's how Abraham got wealthy. Not a very good model for how to get wealthy, Because ultimately the story isn't about what I must do, the good things in order, because we mess up. But it's showing how God, He chose to bring blessing to others. And He's chosen to work with Abraham. He's faithful to that. And even through the evil of Abraham, if you like, God brought the blessing of wealth in this strange way and brought blessing to all of us through the Abrahamic life. You're going to see, if you persevere with me tomorrow, the other patriarchs, we call them patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, they've got a lot in their lives that we would say, no, this is not good. And yet, we remember them today as models of blessing. God even says, I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Well, there are a lot of things about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that we would frown upon. Then, of course, we should be frowning upon our own lives. There's a lot in our lives that are not right. But I've already overshot time this Friday night. So do we have time to sing, or should we just close? I was going to sing the old hymn, Make Me a Blessing. Since we're talking about Abraham being a blessing to others, let's be a blessing as well. Out in the highways and byways, and then we'll close. What a privilege. privilege to be called by God to be a channel of His blessing to others. I mean, that alone gives our lives meaning and worth. What am I living for? God has made you so that in some way, using whatever is at your disposal, whether your means or your character, your temperament, your job, God has called you to be a blessing to others. Oh, you got it there, great. Out in the highways and byways of life, many are weary and sad. There be the sunshine where darkness is rife, making the sorrowing glad. Make me a blessing, make me a blessing out of my life. May Jesus shine, make me a blessing, oh Savior, I pray. Make me a blessing to someone today. Tell the sweet story of Christ and His love. Tell of His heart to forgive. Others will trust Him if only you prove every moment you live. Make me a blessing. Make me a blessing out of my life. May Jesus shine. Make me a blessing, oh Savior, I pray. Make me a blessing to someone today. Let's stop here, shall we? Let's stand together and pray, shall we? Father, thank you for calling Abraham, bringing blessing through him to so many others. Asking him, telling him that you want to be him to bring blessing. And so, Lord, we know who has brought blessing to all of us, the whole world, Jesus our Lord. Amen. Thank you.